choices, you know, maybe a decision you made that might have cost you something, you know, those kind of things.
All right. What's up, everybody? How you doing?
You guys good?
Nobody can wave or do anything, nothing. You just too cool. Everybody too cool, huh?
Yes, I'm good.
I'm good. Okay, cool. So definitely, my name is Sullivan Phillips, and like many of you guys, I grew up with a dream. And my dream, well, it actually started from me going to school, and the teacher told me I was dyslexic. So do you guys know what dyslexia is? No? So
Having trouble with reading and stuff.
Right, that's one thing. Good job. So it's a combination of having trouble with reading. It's your vision is blurred, and sometimes when you see things, you kind of second guess yourself, and you don't necessarily think it's right, but it is right, and then you second guess yourself a lot. So my teacher told me when I was about 10 years old that I was dyslexic, and so right then I had to make a choice. My cousin growing up in Bermuda was probably one of the biggest drug dealers. So I had two choices. One, be a drug dealer like him, make a lot of money, end up in jail, or find another job. So I took to sports. How many of you guys like sports? So whoever's got their hand up, come off mute and let me know. You don't like sports? Who said they don't like sports?
I do like sports. I love sports. I don't like sports.
All right. For all y'all who like sports, just tell me, what sport do you like to play? What sport? And you can tell me if you're good too.
Yeah, I'm actually good at basketball.
You are?
Yeah.
How are your grades?
Good. I got 1B, but the rest are A's.
That's amazing. What about you? What's the name? Sway? I know I'm saying it wrong. Okay. What sport do you like to play? I don't know. I think she not trying to tell us nothing. She's trying to keep it on the low to herself, what she good at. That's cool.
Okay. You know what it is? Sometimes when you come off of mute, it takes a minute for the sound to kick back on. There you go.
Okay.
I like basketball.
All right. Javon likes basketball. William likes basketball. Sway, what do you like? Type it in the chat.
She nervous now.
Tell us in the chat.
So anyway.
Say it again.
You said what? Who? I couldn't hear it.
I run track.
All right. Eve runs track.
I like that.
Okay, I like running track. I kind of like playing basketball, and I like the cheer.
Cheer, basketball,
that's what I'm talking about.
All right, good.
Versatility, I love it. So when I was you guys' age, when they told me I was dyslexic, I was kind of good at sports, so I kind of had to make a decision. Either I'm gonna sell drugs or I'm gonna do sports. And so I told everybody I am going to play professional sports in 2 sports. What do you think everybody did when I said that?
Nah, you can't do it.
Yeah, they laughed at me like, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, right. You're
They were trying to put you down. They were trying to put you down. Can turn your phone down.
It's all good. I get it. These Zoom calls are crazy. But yeah, they laughed at me. They told me no way in the world you're gonna do it. But that's the beauty of you at your age. If you tap into a choice, you can do anything. At 10 years old, I decided what my future looked like. 10 years old. So a lot of people tell you like you're too small. Sometimes even I make the mistake with my kids and say, you don't know what you're gonna do. Don't let nobody tell you don't know. And even if you do know and you make a mistake, it's okay. A mistake is a part of your journey. Because guess what? All them people who laughed at me, guess what? I bet you can't Google their name. But you can Google my name and you can see. So the beauty of a choice is tapping into it and making it a reality. I went overseas and I played. Well, actually, when I was in college, I played professional soccer for 3 years. So I was going to school and I was getting paid.
Ain't that illegal of some sort?
There's a law called amateurism, but you can get paid while you're in college, but you cannot play the same sport that you're playing professionally. So I played professional soccer in college, and I was getting paid. But how it works is, because that was my job, my teachers now had to adjust my schedule. They couldn't give me tests and stuff because that was my job. So imagine that. I'm in college and I'm telling my teacher, no, I got to fly to LA and I got to play a game, so I can't take the test, or you can give it to me remotely. Who likes the sound of that? That's beauty. That's the beauty of it.
Wait. Question.
Go ahead.
Did you play with Bermuda Blue?
Who's that?
You were number 12?
Google is clearly working. Who did you play for, Sully, in Bermuda?
I played in Bermuda. I played with the national team only. So we played in this thing called the Small Island Games. It's like small countries that aren't big enough to compete in the Olympics. They meet, they come together, and they play. So you see that big gold ball standing over there on the side?
That just caught my eye. I was about to ask you that.
Yeah. That's me.
You played number 12?
That was me.
He did say Google his name right.
Hey, but here's the thing, though. Here's the cool thing about it. All the people who laughed at me and talked about me, you can Google them, and I don't know what you'll find, but it ain't nothing that much. How long did it take you to figure out who I am?
In about like a minute. All I did was Google it.
The cool thing about it is, when you make good choices and good decisions, it don't take people long to figure out who you are. And if you tap into it and you grow in it, like, I've made so much money. I've done so many things. Been all over the world.
Let me ask you, bring your
It's the like it's the video that my teacher took, like, showing me, like, it's a motivational video. Like, I don't know if I can show it on the screen, but it was a motivation video.
Who's it by?
I mean, I don't know if I can share my screen, but
Hold on, Javon. Let me. We'll do it at the end. Or do you want to send me the link and I can show it on mine later? You want? We can do it that way.
I'll send the
Just
link.
drop it in the chat. So one of the things, we do have a question. Kaylee has a question. First question she had was, how much did you get paid?
What's
So
your
are you
question?
asking when he got paid to play soccer while he was in school, Kaylee? Is that right? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. How much did you get paid while you were in school?
I know my first year I got like $65,000, $70,000. But remember, it's not for a whole year. And this is like almost 20 years ago. So that's almost like $300,000-$400,000 now. So I was making that and going to school, and I was on scholarship. So I didn't have to pay money to go to college. So I pretty much, well, I didn't. My mom was smart. My mom took most, like 80% of the money, and was like, bro, you're not seeing that. You're not about to waste it. That's what you're not like. But the most I made, I think, was 85. And then we got bonuses because one year we won the championship. So I probably took home about 125 in college.
Ooh.
So yes, I was making more money than my teachers.
Yes, you were. And everybody else who was your age in school. Yes, indeed. So in terms of basketball, when did you decide that you wanted to retire? How long have you been retired?
I retired in 2013. The reason why I retired is because my son was 1 year old, and I came home for Christmas that year, and my son was hanging out with me because we had Skype. It's kind of like your FaceTime, but way slower and way, way, way more jinky. Way.
Terrible.
And so I was looking at him on Skype every day, and when I came home, he was with me, and then my father-in-law walked by, and then my son went to my father-in-law. And so I went to the bathroom in my house, and I was just crying because I was like, yo, my son don't even know me. And he was just born. And then it made me evaluate how close am I to my kids. And then when I evaluated, I realized, like, I didn't even know my kids. I was like a hangout dad. Like, I come home in the summer, we do fun stuff, I spend money, and they're happy, but they don't know me. So that was the turning point for me. It was like, either you come home or they'll never know you. And you'll make money. Mm-hmm. I would make a lot of money, but I'm sure some of you can relate. Like some of you don't get along with your parents for whatever reason it is. And you ain't got to tell me, but I mean, I got kids that's older than you, that's younger than you. So I know, like, there's certain things you ain't going to tell your mom or your dad because either they ain't cool enough or they going to trip out and do something crazy. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I can honestly tell you right now, I got an 18-year-old and a 17-year-old, and they'll tell me anything from if they like to kiss a boy to I want to take him on a date. I even, like, I'm going to be real with y'all, like, flat out. I even found out my daughter lost her virginity, and we had a conversation over lunch about it.
Are those your picture behind you?
Yes.
Yes, sir. I'm not putting nobody else's jersey up in my room.
Just your journey. But no, it's good because basically you're emphasizing that relationships matter and positive relationships matter. And so you retired because you wanted to spend time with your family because that was an important sacrifice. And as you guys grow older, there are going to be times when, yeah, you're going to have to sacrifice something. And you'll decide what that sacrifice is, especially in pursuit of your dream, you know? And so different times require different things. And because he was able to step away, his daughter is going to have that tough conversation with her dad because she trusts him. If she doesn't know him and doesn't trust him, she's not doing that. So 2013, it might not have looked like it was a thing, but sitting here in 2020, it's paid off, you know? And so that's what the journey is all about. What, did you mean basketball? So the question was, what made you want to play basketball?
Money. I wanted to make money. And your counselor will tell you flat out, I've never worked a 9 to 5 outside of going to high school, and I never will. Because of the choices I made, I decided that I'm going to invest in myself, make sure I have enough money to take care of me and my family, and most importantly, if there's things I want to venture and try, which I'm doing now, like mentoring, and now I go out and share with people like you, and I get paid for it. I'm never going to work a 9 to 5, never. And that's a part of choices.
But was it easy?
No, super sacrifice. Like people come home in the summers. Like I used to come home and I was like, yo, I'm on a budget of $10,000 a summer, which is crazy. That's way too much money. But I come home and say this up. That's all I'm going to spend is $10,000. I'm married, so, you know, my wife's going to take half of that and take us on vacation or something like that. So I was on a budget. I knew guys that would come home in the summer, they spend like 50 grand. 10,000
to get to that level, what does it
club.
take? We're not true. To get to that level, what does it take? To get to your level, to get to the spot where now you get to choose what you want to spend, how you want to spend it, where you want to go, and what do you want to do? What kind of work does that take?
It simply means you're gonna have to do the things you don't want to do when others are doing those things that they would like to do. It's
so
a
does
sacrifice.
that make sense? Does that make sense to you guys? Yeah.
I'll give you an example. Most of your friends right now probably aren't on some organized call like this, what you're on. They're probably playing PlayStation. They're on Snapchat. They're playing Xbox. They're doing something that doesn't necessarily bring value to them, right? And they're looking at you. They probably like, yo, you're crazy. You're bugging. Why are you doing this? Like, why? Why? Tell your parents just save the money and get you V-Bucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, put you on, like, right? Is that what they, like, I'm not lying to you. Like, I know, because my son is 8 years old, and he has a buddy, and his buddy be saying it all the time, like, why you always have to go to Zoom class in the afternoon? Just tell your parents to buy you V-Bucks. But no, there's a sacrifice that has to be made. So I got to this level because in many days, many hours, many times, I had to say, no, this is more important than that.
That makes sense. Do you guys somebody else have another question?
No.
William?
Nobody.
You have a question?
It's just cool how he did all that.
It is. And it's
hard
work.
Not, you know what, William? It's not cool. It's doable. That's it. It just takes a plan and a choice. If you say this is what I want to do, You see all these medals around, all this crazy stuff I got in here?
I have a question.
Go ahead, sir.
Like, I ain't saying you did, but like, I'm gonna ask you, like, when you were younger, like, did you do bad, and then you moved and you got better, or
I got
Like, do
kicked
you
out of
mean
school.
bad? Wait, hold. Let me ask you this:
Yes.
do you mean bad in behavior or bad like the way you played?
like, no, like behavior, like when you were little?
Okay.
Yeah, so I met your counselor because I got kicked out of school.
To be honest,
I went to school. I got
I do
expelled.
too. So, do this, I do too.
But here's
Yes,
the thing.
this is true.
Here's the thing. I got expelled from high school and I went to a boarding school. And that's why I met, your
Me.
counselor, and I almost said your name like
You can.
a kid. And Miss Daniette. And that's how I met her and her family because I made a bad choice. I got expelled. But watch this, guys. When I got expelled, guess what happened? Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky, all these big name schools will never come and talk to me because now I'm a liability. So I don't even know where I could have been if I didn't get kicked out of school. So that's all a part of choices. So if you're looking at it now and you're saying, yo, I got behavior problems, my suggestion to you is you guys are probably middle school age. Clean it up now because colleges are looking at you right now. You good. They're making decisions whether, okay, right now we're going to watch him from 7th, 8th grade up into 10th grade and then make an offer.
And that's across the board. In any you guys, in any sport, if you're running track, if you're in cheer, if you're playing football, if you're playing baseball, softball, any of those, if you're doing any of those things.
One more thing, guys. One more thing for Ms. Danielle getting me off here. The biggest thing is, and I want y'all all to listen, you can dance tomorrow. Guard yourself, especially on social media. I know people be telling y'all Snapchat, the pictures go away or, what I'm saying, don't worry about it. They never go away. The videos never go away. The things people tag you in never go away. Be careful. Especially y'all who say you want to be athletes. I'm telling you this from a coach, former coach. First thing we look at is your social media. Who you got on Snapchat? Who you following? What kind of trends are you following? What kind of posts are you putting up about yourself? My daughter is going to college next year, and she was around her friends last year, and her friends were doing something reckless. And guess what? 3 top schools no longer write her anymore. And I guarantee you it's because they watched her on social media. So that's just a free one out there. Be careful with social media. Have fun with it, but just understand everything you do, your choices, they're aligned with consequences.
You're right, because you guys' generation is different than our generation. It's different than, because when Sully and I went to school, I mean, he's younger than me, but when we went to school, we didn't have to worry about that. Our theme song was, don't get caught on any pictures. For us, it was no pictures. No pictures, no pictures, no pictures. We didn't want, there need to be no evidence. You guys document everything, and so that's why he's saying what he's saying. And if you go back and you look at a lot of the athletes that potentially you follow, you will see it's very strategic. Yeah,
very
absolutely.
Strategic. No more questions? This is the most boring group I ever been with. Y'all ain't got no questions.
I have a question. Like, was basketball your dream, or was was basketball your dream?
Honestly, if I could be honest with you, I didn't know what my dream was. I just made a choice based on what I can make money and not go to jail by.
So did you practice every day to get there?
Yeah, practice.
Yeah, multiple times. So for me to play soccer, I went to Bermuda when I was 10 years old. So soccer is a big thing. So everybody else had 10 years head start on me. So I practiced 2-3 times a day. When we talk about girls and stuff like that, your age, no girls ever looked at me because we had uniforms. So I had a ring around the collar every day because I was constantly practicing. So I was humiliated. No girls want to talk to me, nothing. Until
get that money, bro.
That money.
No, to be honest, I wouldn't actually say that he waited until, then I will say about the end of high school, he got his height. and got really tall, and then that helped a little. That I will say that. But real interest did come when he was.
It's definitely a situation where once you start coming into it and all your practice comes to the forefront, people start noticing, and then people jump on your bandwagon.
Yeah.
But before that, I had ring around the collar, all that. No girls were talking to me.
Do you and your teammates hang out sometimes? Like some of your teammates, do y'all hang out sometimes?
So I played for 12 years, and I got 4 or 5 championships, and I have no friends. None.
Like teammates.
None. So when you play with me, nobody liked me because I always hold you accountable, and my accountability was attached to $1. So if every game I won, I would get like 150 euros as a bonus. So if one of my teammates almost lost the game, I wasn't a Christian or nothing like that then. So I would cuss you dry and let you know you almost messed up my money. So most people didn't like playing with me. You love to win. If you play with me, we gonna win. But if we don't win, like I'm the first person you delete from your phone because you like, yo, I don't even want to deal with this dude.
How many games you lost?
How many what?
Games did you
How many
lose?
games did y'all lose?
I mean, it's not about losing. It's about when you look over the length of your career. I played 15 years professional sports total. I have 5 championships. So that means if we're being technical, I lost 10 years. I won 5 things and lost 10 times.
Win some, you lose some.
That's right.
You're absolutely right.
That's right.
Any other questions?
Any others? Any others? Because we are just at our time. You know, I told you 30.
No,
but I appreciate it. You know, I notice you guys, one of the things is it's not always a happy journey, and it's sometimes a lonely journey. And so that's one of the downsides to what he was doing. But there's always a plan. I think what I would like you guys to take away from this is about a plan and setting your mind to it and executing and not being afraid to stand up for yourself and not being afraid to do what it is that you want. It doesn't matter what anybody else is going to say. That doesn't matter.
Can I give you one more thing before I go?
Yeah.
So one of the biggest things I learned and one of the biggest mantras I run with is elevation requires separation. So to get to that level, to get high, that'd be the one thing I'll leave with you. Elevation, when you get that high, you're going to be alone. And what you do in the alone time determines how much this and how much this you get. Does that make sense? So the higher you go, like LeBron, his circle is super small. It's the same dudes he run with from high school. And the reason why is because you get that high, everybody comes at you. So don't forget, as high you get in your sports or life or whatever you do, elevation requires separation.
Yep. It totally makes sense. Now, your website and where they could potentially connect with you, can I give them that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Give me your website. I'm going to type it in.
www.sullivanphillips.com.
2 L's?
2 L's.
All right. This is his website. And you'll find out about his mentoring program, his coaching program. He does one-on-one coaching in just life, but also in sports and all of those kind of things. So potentially there is a way for you to continue to talk if you would like to continue to talk to him. So I just put it in. Sully, thank you so much. I appreciate